Evening, everyone. We're here for the regular council meeting of June 19th for Wednesday evening. We'll go with quick introductions and then we'll jump right into it. We have our CEO, Mitch DeBell.
Evening.
Myself, Chris Ewan. Good evening. We have Councillor Jean Boulanger.
Good evening.
Councillor Jason Bodnerchuk.
Good evening.
Assistant CEO Dominic Lemoine. Absence tonight is Councillor Shane Pelletier and Councillor Joelle Lemon, and I believe the junior councillor has done her term now, right? Okay, perfect. So without further ado, we'll go into it. Before we get into delegations of public hearing, I'll do just kind of the rules of order for that. But we'll start the meeting as is. Item number 1, meeting called to order. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second. Councillor Boulanger, thank you. Comments? Yeah, that's what you'll be doing. Comments before we open? No, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried 3-0. Open the meeting at 7:01 p.m. Number 2, adoption of the agenda. Do I have a mover? Councillor Boulanger, second. Councillor Bodnerchuk, thank you. Council is good with going as is. No changes to the agenda. Thank you. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried 3-0. Thank you. Item 3, adoption of minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second. Councillor Boulanger. Go ahead, Mr. Singh.
Last regular council meeting was held June the 4th, very short meeting. We reviewed and approved the committee reports, minutes, and finances.
Thank you. Council, any comments, questions? That is. Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Item 4, committee reports and minutes. Do I have a mover? Councillor Boulanger, second. Councillor Bodnerchuk.
Councillor Bodnerchuk supplied minutes from the Reach Out Library of the April 16th meeting minutes.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on those committee reports? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 5.1, accounts paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second. Councillor Boulanger.
Batch 18774 in the amount of $510,000. That is related to the Lachine Street paving project.
You, council, any comments or questions? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. 5.2, accounts not paid to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Boulanger, second. Councillor Bodnerchuk.
3 batches, 18781 in the amount of 1.1 million. A summary has been provided to council for those bigger expenses in that batch, as well as batch 18784, electronic fund transfers in the amount of $32,500, mostly operating grants to the communities, and 1 utility refund, $107 in batch 18785.
Thank you. Council, any comments? Call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 5.3, payroll to be approved. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnerchuk, second. Councillor Boulanger, thank you.
Payroll 11, as noted to council, nothing further to provide.
Council, any comments, questions? None. I'll call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Okay, moving on to delegations and then public hearings. So delegations, I'm going to limit it to a 10-minute max this evening, just because we have a few public hearings to jump into. Council's good with the 10-minute maximum.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 6.1, 7:05 p.m. Sean Samuels and Emmanuel Taves from Bristol Hauling. Come on up, you guys, just in the hot seat here.
Yeah, thanks for having us in tonight. We want to talk a little bit about waste recycling, compost, and that. I'm not sure if you guys have West Bristol Hauling, MWM Environmental. We service over 45 municipalities across the province of Manitoba. We've really had some great success over the last 10 years here, and we're proud of what we're doing and want to share some of our good stories when it comes to recycling and compost and the things that we feel we can do for you folks in the future. I imagine you guys have the proposal on your screen there. So just a little bit of history. Emmanuel, if you want to touch a little bit on a few of the communities that we service, kind of your neighboring municipalities for shot.
Some of the history that we've done, Niverville is one of the main ones that we focus on first, and we've kind of grown that over the last few years. Steinbach, Hanover, Power, Pine Falls, a number of municipalities, and each of those has its own intricacies. Some of them we provide both services, some of it just next time back in Hanover just to recycle. We've been able to help some communities. In Riverville, there was one that a contractor that defaulted, and we're able to help the municipality continue service, so it was unaffected to the ratepayers. But other than that,
Yeah, you'll see, we always guarantee our work in aid business hours, supporting local communities, sponsorship programs. One of the things we do with our recycling program is for each recycling cart tip, we donate 5 cents to a local charity or organization of council's choice. So when we want everybody to be able to participate in the program, and the more carts that are out there, the bigger benefits. We also offer medical assist is something over and above of most contractors, again, so they can, if somebody has a disability, then our driver goes out, grabs the cart, rolls it out to the curb for them, dumps it, and puts it back at its original place. It's definitely a program that we're really proud of. And yeah, also community barbecues. We come into your community, we put on a barbecue, we get to know the folks in all the different communities. We've built so many relationships across the province. I remember when we first started going to AMM, we didn't know a whole lot of folks, and our booth is always jam-packed now when we're there. So it's pretty impressive, the long road that we've come. We understand you don't have a provider currently, a little closer to your date. We'd like to find out a little more information on how you guys are doing things. We offer compost pickup. I believe you guys do have a bit of a pilot project on the go with that. We're doing composting in Morris just down the road, and Morden. So we've got lots of experience with that when it comes to issues with contamination and education for ratepayers. We host public forums to get the people out at a firsthand message, and teach your ratepayers the value in it, right, and get the material to the right location. So, any questions on any of that stuff, or any comments on what you're currently doing that may arise from what we're doing?
Yeah, I've got nothing at this time, Council. You got anything?
I have a question about where do you haul? So you pick it up, where do you dump it?
Yeah, so we use a few different facilities, different landfills across the province of Manitoba. Recycling, we haul some to St. Malo, Gateway and Morden, the city of Brandon. We actually haul to GFL as well when it comes to recycling. The compost, most of it goes to EnviroClean in Morden, Canapult in Portage. So we've got a contract over there with Southport. So we built a lot of relationships and connections with these facilities as well. And composting is kind of the next big thing, right? We've had our challenges with recycling, and composting seems to be the way of the future, in all honesty. So comes to tracking reports, easy for us. Provide monthly reports of all weights, your trash, your recycle, compost, submit those numbers so you can report easily to MMSM, get your funding. We're proud of that in the communities that we're in, watching, their percentages rise over the years as well. So we use a program called Recollect. Ratepayers can put in their address, print off calendars so they know when their pickup is. Also get text message reminders, emails, or phone calls. I'm not sure if you guys have something like that set up currently with your pickup. Something like
Get
that.
reminders if there's a change in schedule.
There's a weather delay or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this would be an actual reminder of every day your pickup if you wanted to set it. So if you're one of those people that have trouble remembering when your next pickup is, so which seems to be common. Yeah. We offer front load containers for the commercial businesses, depots. What kind of setup do you have with your commercial businesses right now? Are they on their own, or is those arrangements within the municipality paid by the municipality?
Through the
and
municipality.
all through the municipality? Yeah, so we do it lots of different ways in lots of other communities. Some is one-on-one arrangements where those local businesses user pay. Sometimes the RM will cover the rental and the business will cover the cost per service, right? So it's a user pay system, and it gets people being more efficient, right, with their usage of recycling and getting rid of airspace and knocking down that cardboard or those boxes, that sort of thing, right? To be efficient.
From council? I think that's it from us.
Just when it comes to our cart delivery, it looks like you guys own the carts, I presume, with your logos on there. You know, we would help with, we usually provide a rollout package as well within those carts that provides all the information of your pickup days and that sort of thing into your community.
You mentioned that, was it Steinbach that's just doing the recycling?
Yeah, in Steinbach and Hanover.
Okay.
Well, Steinbach's a good example where the city provides their own trash service, and we got the contract when Eastman closed their doors and stopped the service there. So
Okay.
sometimes it's just one service stream.
So if we say wanted just the composting portion of it or something, that's an option.
That's an option,
You
yeah.
don't-
Yeah.
Three or not, it's one or the, okay.
We like the tagging system. I'm not sure what your contamination is like in your recycling. What we do is we do periodically checks where we tag, you know, overfilled carts. It's kind of the 3-strike rule. You know, couple warnings. Third time, we want to talk to the resident, you know, over the phone, get to the bottom of it and sort that out. Did the RM used to do their pickup by Public Works at one time, or was it always contracted?
Always contracted out
Always.
since I've been here for 10 years.
Okay,
Prior to that.
yeah,
Not
that's
good.
good.
Anything else?
No, I think that, you know, we do provide other services like roll-off service as well for larger ticket items.
And you said you have 45 municipalities, so obviously a big enough operation to take on more
Yes,
load.
yeah, we sure can.
Yeah, this is right in our backyard. You know, our shop isn't in the municipality, but we're
Right, you're.
a quarter mile outside of
town.
town, right, or
Yeah.
outside the municipality line.
Cool.
No,
That's all I've got.
I appreciate the delegation. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys at AMM.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got 6.3, 6.2 has been canceled or postponed, I guess is a better way to put it. 6.3, 720. I guess we'll ask if Don Dirkson's here for a delegation, because it was scheduled for 7:25. Perfect. Come on up, sir. Don Dirkson rezoned property located at RL 232-39421, PR 210 from AL to I for a religious assembly establishment. Go ahead.
Good evening. Our story is we met as a group of friends just over 2 years ago. And it was a surprise meeting of 60 people, and it's grown to 150, and we need place. We've been looking to buy industrial properties, which is not allowed. We can't find any land zoned in institutional, and so we're here to apply for a rezoning on the 5-acre property there on 210, just east of the Eagle Lake.
So just like, I'm sure Dominic or Mitch has explained, this is just for us to listen to kind of what you are wanting for the area. This isn't an actual process. This is just a delegation.
Right, yeah, no, I understand that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, excellent.
So if there's more information you require before the
Yeah.
application, now would be the time
Exactly.
to ask those questions.
Right,
Yeah.
what, is that, okay, I heard the developers had turned it down because they required a lift station. I'm assuming for a one building, you got by with something else, or?
I can't remember the actual situation. That was like 2 years ago, wasn't it, Mitch?
Yeah, well, anything to do with the services and water and wastewater, we would have to definitely chat with our public works manager.
Okay.
If multifamily or anything like that is considered, then therefore there would definitely be need for a lift station, et cetera, et cetera. But if it's 150 people once a week, there may be alternatives, holding tanks, whatever that might be
Yeah.
an option.
Yep.
I guess if council has no, I have a few questions, like we started at 60, 150, is it once a week? Do you see going to 350? Is this a cult or? No, it started at red, but now you're at this, right? So it's just.
Well, we don't want to be called a cult.
Want to call, we're quite mainstream. But yeah, no, we have been on a growth trajectory. I think there'd be a size at which we'd want to say it would be better to send, a number of families elsewhere and start over again. I think that's healthier than just building one thing. So we've talked about maybe building for room for about 300, 350 would be probably a good size at which we would anticipate future growth. And once we'd be bumping up against that, consider branching out elsewhere. But it has been on a growth trajectory, and so we are looking for space. And as Don mentioned, looking at industrial properties has not been feasible, obviously, and so that's what brought us to this point. And for what it's worth, we don't own this property, obviously, but the owners, the sellers, are aware of this delegation, and they are obviously they have an interest in selling the property as well, so they are supportive of this application.
Your goal is to build for 300. That's what you'd like to see.
That's right.
You're practicing use, as Mitch asked, you're doing it once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week.
We're meeting on Sunday mornings, and then we have a youth group that meets on Thursday evenings, which would probably get used for that. And then we have a Bible study on Tuesday evenings. So there'd probably be 2 evenings a week in addition to the Sunday morning.
3 was junior youth.
That's right, and a junior youth group as well.
I think my biggest, it's not a concern, it's just my biggest, not an opposition either. I'm just worried if it did get big enough, traffic would be the concern there, right? Because it's right off of it's a major highway, right? It's a pretty clustered highway at certain hours. So depending on when you guys are practicing, right, that would be the concern for me. But if it's on a Sunday or a Thursday evening, that doesn't seem like it's going to be a burden of any kind. So.
Yeah, I think our usage would all be off main hours, right?
Yeah.
So Sunday morning at 9,
Yeah.
Tuesday evening at 7:30.
It would be the one off of a funeral or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the afternoon.
Right.
That's really the only thing I have. Anything from council? Mr. Shield, did you have any other questions?
The site is about 7.3 acres. Do you see using the entirety for the purpose or parking in the church? Or is there something else maybe in future potential development? AKA maybe a gymnasium for the kids, or
That would all be in the building.
that would be part
Yeah.
of it. Okay.
Is it 7.3? I thought the listing was 5 acres, but,
I have it from assessment, so
oh, okay.
Okay.
We got more we thought. Oops. But yeah, no, it would be,
give or take 7.3.
you take it and use it all. So it would be a building parking lot and then,
What would be the size of the building? Like 3,000 square feet, 4,000 square feet?
we sent some pictures. I don't know if you guys got those.
We did.
Those are some of the building ideas that we like.
You do,
So,
okay.
It would be kind of that idea.
Okay.
Exact measurements would be.
Yeah, I think probably closer in the 5,000 to 6,000 square foot range.
6,000
Yeah.
feet, yeah.
Look at the last picture, the one that's kind of.
Yeah, the bigger one there. Yeah,
The first one, the one that's in Mitchell?
that's in Mitchell.
Yeah.
And the second one's in Buffalo.
Yeah, we-
That's actually a more feasible plan, but.
The New Buffalo one.
But like I said, those are strictly ideas, kind of give you
Yeah.
our taste, what we kind of think.
The New Buffalo one has service section and hall section, correct?
It has a
Yeah.
banquet hall, sanctuary, education.
Yeah,
So it's okay.
nice facility.
I just have a question. This doesn't, it's not really relevant, but Trinity Fellowship, what, is it non-denominational? Is that?
The Reformed Baptist.
Okay.
Anything else from council?
What kind of things are you gonna have inside of it? Like obviously a chapel, right? You're talking about what other amenities kind of like you doing commercial kitchen, or are you doing a big rec area? Things like that.
And kitchen for sure, yeah. So the sanctuary would be the main feature and then some classrooms, like for Sunday school and that type of thing. But yeah, fellowship hall and a kitchen would be important as well.
Fellowship hall / gymnasium.
Yeah.
And,
Cool. Great.
Anything else from administration or council? Do you have anything else for us?
No, I think the pictures were ideas. I think one comment, we're not looking at just doing something strictly utilitarian. We would want it to look nice. And that would be, from your perspective, something that would be appealing as you drive into town. We're not just interested in building a shop.
Mhm.
That's what we've got now, so.
We appreciate that. Perfect. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I think if you don't know the process, reach out to Mitch or Tanis or Dominic, and then they can guide you to the next steps. But
Okay.
thank you. I appreciate the precursor. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We're going into public hearings now. So for public hearings, again, it'll be a 10-minute max for speaking. The way it works is I will call the variation of the conditional use item. CEO will say a few words and then I'll open the public hearing. I'll ask the applicant or anyone wishing to make a presentation to make one online, on the phone, or in person. Then after, I will ask if there's anyone wishing to speak in favor, online, on the phone, or in person. And then I will go into, is there anyone wishing to speak against, online, on the phone, or in person? And then I will do a last call. At that time, you can come up, and if you're not in favor or against, you just want some clarification questions, feel free to come up and ask. Or if you're in favor or against, online, on the phone, or in person, again, that's your last chance to speak. Then I will close the public hearing. At that time, it's for council's debate only, not for public engagement. So I ask that you just listen at that time, and council will debate, and then we will vote on that item. Without further ado, we'll go to 7.1.1 V5 2024. Todd and Michelle Chornaby, 1481 PR 200.
The proposal is to vary the minimum site width requirement from 600 feet to 396 feet in a agricultural limited zone as required by the subdivision file number 4165-22-8140. Just a reminder of council, as I just stated, it's a condition of the subdivision that was approved back in June of 2022.
Thank you. I'll open the public hearing at 7:23 PM. Is there anyone wishing to make presentation? In person, online, or on the phone? Anyone wishing to speak in favor, in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against, in person, online, or on the phone? Anything received against?
Nothing received.
Last call, anyone wishing to say any final comments, ask any questions, speak in favor, against, online, on the phone, in person? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:24 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bodnar, second, Councillor Belanger. Thank you.
Resolution reads, therefore be resolved that variation application V5 2024 is approved with no conditions.
Thank you. I'll open up for council discussion. Council, anything to add?
No, it's not good. Straightforward.
Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Going up to 7.1.2 V6 2024 Merrick Homes, 144 Atlantic Drive.
The proposal is to vary the minimum side yard distance requirement from 15 feet to 12 feet in a rural residential zone for a detached garage. Just for council's information, Administration made an oversight, not a mistake, it's just an oversight. On the side attached garage, it was noticed when a zoning memorandum was requested by the legal. And we picked it up at that point in time. And oversight, your worship.
I've never made an error, only oversights in my life.
Not gonna use that.
Yeah. I'll open the public hearing at 7:25 PM. Is there someone online, on the phone, or in person that wishes to make a presentation?
I'm here from Eric Holmes.
Sure. Did you want to speak, or do you want to just, it's up to you.
If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Council, do you have any questions?
No.
No, we're okay. Thank you. Okay, is there anyone wishing to speak in favor, online, on the phone, or in person? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against, online, on the phone, or in person? Anything received against?
Nothing received.
Final call, is there anyone wishing to make any, have any questions, make any comments? Speak in favor, against, online, on the phone, or in person? Public hearing at 7:26 PM. Councilor Boulanger, second. Councilor Bodkin, second. You've got no choice. I guess you could not move it.
Yeah. Therefore, be resolved that variation application V6 2024 is approved with no conditions.
Perfect. Council debate, any comments, questions?
No, I just want to make the comment, yes, it was thought to be 12 foot setback and it was actually 15, so it was very.
It was a minor
Very
oversight.
minor.
Minor.
Anybody can make them.
Small mistake, big mistake.
It'll be noted.
Performance review, no.
Okay, I'll call for the question. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. 7.1.3 V7 2024 Pierre and Veronique Mivelez. And we will do V7 and C11 at the same time, which is C11 2024 Pierre and Veronique Mivelez, 1659 Sid Road.
So conditional use C11 is to allow a garden suite in the agricultural general zone. And V7 is to vary that maximum size of garden suite if accepted from 860 square feet to 2,200 square feet in the agricultural general zone.
Thank you. I will open the public hearing at 7:27 PM. Is there someone that wishes to make presentation on this at this time? Sure, yeah.
I want just pull the second house, the first house that my son is managed the farm with me. And now I living on the mobile home now.
Mhm.
I want to pull the mobile home office, farm office and lunchroom for the worker. They build the house for me.
Thank you, council. Any questions or comments? No, perfect. Thank you very much, Pierre. I appreciate it. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor, online, on the phone, or in person? Anything received in favor?
And one receiving support for the conditional use from, and I apologize here, I'm scrolling downwards, Mr. Legacy, and council has that
Council
support information.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak against, online, on the phone, or in person? Come on up. Mr. Don Dupuy. Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to speak against because according to what I know is this particular individual has about 80 acres. Some of that acreage could be carved out and zoned personal use and put a new title on that. And this way it keeps it totally separate from the farming aspect of things. And it doesn't change the amount of land, it just changes the use of that particular, let's say 4 acres, whatever is the minimum that they can carve out. And then make it nice and simple. Because I think to go from 860 to 2,200 is a little excessive. I could see maybe a 60 to 900, maybe, but not 2,200. It's too big of a house to be considered a garden suite.
Council, any questions or comments for Mr. Dupuy? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else in person, online, or on the phone wishing to speak against? Come on up, sir. Just your name again, sir.
Gerald Schultz.
Gerald Schultz, thank you. I see you have an objection. Are you speaking on the objection that you sent in?
I'm objecting and I'm not objecting.
Okay.
I need to clarify what I said.
Sure.
So I don't care what kind of house they build.
Yeah.
They want to build 10,000. Be the shape of another barn there. That's all good. My concern is when we were here opposing the whole farm expansion, Mr. Mayor, you said to me that it would be up to the farmer to control his contractors and make sure that they weren't using engine brakes and that sort of thing. From last Thursday to Saturday, we had over 100 engine brake events at that intersection. The trucks are still going too fast. These are not Pierre's employees. These are the contractors.
Okay.
There's the Jade Transport guy that pulls the B-train tankers. He's always on them. The guys who are hauling the straw bales out of the farm are always on them. And then there's the two clowns that haul the silage. And it's very annoying when you're sitting there Friday night trying to entertain some guests and at 8 o'clock you still hear engine brakes.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So like, can we get a sign? Can we get some things resolved here? Because like I say, I don't care what kind of house he builds, but I can't live there if this is going to continue.
Absolutely. Okay, we will,
Could look into the engine retardant
Yes.
bylaw,
I think
because I
that's-
know we've requested for
a couple other locations.
signs, locations in the community.
Yeah, and I spoke a lot, that meeting that you spoke at last, well, because we have it there, but it needs to be pushed back, that zone needs to be pushed back for.
But it also needs to be on Sioux Road.
Yeah, but it'd be the whole area there.
Because they're using the brakes on Sud, slowing down.
Yeah,
to
they,
10.
they're using them when they're empty, leaving. They're using them when they're empty, rolling in. Like they're driving too fast. If you need your engine brake when you're empty, you're going too fast. A 50-kilometer-an-hour speed limit would be a very good thing from that intersection to the farm.
Okay, I will put this in the hands of my CEO. He's a lot more in tune than I am on this, so.
Other than that, I don't care what they build.
So are you releasing your objection or you still want to keep it with the?
If we can fix this road thing, I
Sounds
don't
like
care what they do.
Sounds like a separate issue, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a separate issue.
yeah. Okay, no, I appreciate it, Jared. Thank you. I made a note and I think our CEO's made a note as well. Anyone else wishing to speak against in person or online or on the phone? Anything received, anything else received against? We do have the objection.
Just the objection, that's all I have.
Okay, last call. Is there anyone online, on the phone, or in person wishing to make any comments, ask any questions, speak in favor or against? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 7:32 PM. Do I have a mover?
I would like to deal with the conditional use first,
Okay.
because otherwise there's
So
no
I'm gonna-
point of going to the variation.
Thank you. I'm going to move for 7.2.2, C11 2024, 1659 State Road. Do I have a mover? We're doing the conditional use first, and then we're going to the variation. Make sense?
Yeah.
Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bonner.
Sure.
So this afternoon, I was working on the wording of the resolution, just to try to tighten it up a little bit more, given the circumstances. So let me call that up, because my paper does not match what my computer says. So I'll read it into its entirety. Whereas owners Pierre and Véronique Mivelez for the property legally described as Northwest 24-8-3 East, located at 1659 Sud Road near the town of St. Adolphe, have made application to allow for a garden suite in an agricultural general zone. And whereas the garden suite is required for on-site dairy operation, and whereas the owners will be the occupiers of the garden suite, and whereas the main dwellings will still be used for the purpose of the on-site dairy operation, therefore be it resolved that conditional use C11 2024 is approved with the following conditions: that the applicant obtains a building permit from the Arm of Rechot. 2, the submitted plans are to be included detailed architectural drawings stamped by an engineer. 3, the applicant is to provide a site plan indicating the proposed setbacks from property lines and any other structures from the property for building permit applications. 4, that the applicant is to apply for and obtain a septic field permit from the province, and 5, that applicant provides a signed confirmation letter accepting the terms of this order, and there may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance and non-compliance issues that may be caused to revoke this conditional use at any time.
Thank you.
And this is only for
The
the conditional use. Okay, thank you.
council discussion, debate, anything?
Well, I have a question that I should have asked because I was just a little confused who was using the garden suite. I thought the workers were gonna be using the garden suite, but you're saying that the owners will be using the garden suite
Correct.
and the workers will be in the main dwelling.
The son is using the house and the trailer is still being used by the workers.
The trailer, the army that's turned an office.
Turn into an office as well.
Okay.
So it's, in my opinion, shifting building allotments for purposes of the farming operation.
I just thought if it was just for the couple, then why the 2,200 square feet?
Because I still,
Yeah, so we'll allow it.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't aware, yeah.
Go ahead.
I am the owner. Every time no one harvest time, I have 10, 15 people come eat on my place in the house.
Okay.
I think so, then for 15 years, I still the main house. That's where I move now, and the new one.
So gonna be a garden suite or a main house?
And also the thing is that I just want everything on one floor. I have issue with my back and
okay.
things, so we're not going to have any basement or any floor. Everything's going to be flat. That's why it's going to be bigger than unusual thing that you can do a basement or.
Yeah, if you go 860 square feet with the basement, that's 1,700 square feet house.
Conditional use, anything else from council?
I should have asked this question. Is there any more plans to relax? Is this it? Is there more plans to be building? Are we gonna get another one that comes back and says, okay, we need another garden suite
On this, for this specific
on this,
user?
on this site, on this?
I think we just make it a condition that it's no more growth of operation or growth of addition to
Residents.
residents, yeah.
Do you want
Would you want that?
Yeah, add
friendly?
it as a
Would you like that a
condition.
condition? Okay, friendly
Friendly
addition,
amendment.
yeah, you're good.
Can I make further comment?
I'll open it, yeah, because I allowed the applicant to speak. Go ahead, Don.
I don't see why they could not carve out 4 or 5 acres, put a separate title on it. They would still be able to use it for what they want to use it for. There would be less restrictions, because it's then no longer called a garden suite. A garden suite, you look up that definition, it's certainly not going to be 2,200 square feet. I mean, come on. And then the main house is going to be used by the workers.
No,
Yeah.
not the main house. It's a garden.
Okay,
It's
no, that's,
family.
The son's family is still going to be using the house. And it's going to
They
be part
work on the farm.
right, okay, you guys, that's it. I understand, thank you. I appreciate what you're saying, Don. But I also understand.
fencing tax laws here. Come on.
Okay, no, I appreciate it. I'm not gonna entertain any more from the public. Anything else from council?
No, good here.
Yeah, because we talked about this, so yeah.
Yeah.
And well, we did, I just want to make a mention, we did talk about possibly setting precedents, but I know this is a unique situation and all the things come to council where we make these decisions with informed decisions. So I don't see this as setting a precedence. So.
Yeah, this is, yeah, I agree with that, Councilor Blanchard. Okay, I'm gonna call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that is carried. Thank you. Moving on to 7.1.3, V7 2024 Pierre and Veronique Mivelez, 1659 Sid Road. Do I have a mover? Councilor Belanger, second. Councilor Bondarchuk, thank you.
Now on the variation, therefore be resolved that variation V7 2024 be approved with the following conditions, that the applicant shall adhere to all conditions in the conditional use, and that the garden suite shall only be occupied by the owner operator of the existing livestock operation.
Did I get a mover and second already? Yes, I did. Okay, thank you. Open up for council discussion, debate. Anything else to add based on the variation? Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That is carried. Thank you. Moving on to
Catch up.
7.2.1.
Lisa?
Yeah, 7.2.1 C10 2024 Roger Border 2556 PR 200.
The application is to allow a garden suite in an agricultural limited zone.
I will open the public hearing at 7:40 PM. Is there anyone wishing to make presentation in person, online, or on the phone?
I want to say I'm for it because Roger was my neighbor and he's such a great guy.
Okay, I appreciate the presentation, Mr. Donald. Okay,
Sure, it's not $20 bill.
free eggs for life, or, Roger, you didn't have an applicant, you didn't have a presentation or anything you wanted to make?
No, I mean, I guess I simply want to
Yeah.
say, we're building a small suite for my son to live on the property.
Anyone wishing to speak in favor, online, on the phone, or in person? Anything received in favor?
Nothing received.
Anyone wishing to speak against, online, on the phone, or in person? Anything received?
Nothing received.
Thank you. Final call. Anyone wishing to make any comments, ask any questions, speak in favor, against, online, on the phone, or in person? I will close the public hearing at 7:41 PM. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bondarchuk, second. Councillor Belanger.
Therefore, be resolved that conditional use application C10 2024 is approved with the following conditions: that the applicant obtains a building permit from the ARM office. 2, the applicant shall apply for and obtain flood elevation permit and a septic field permit from the province. 3, that modifications to the secant for living quarters must be designed and approved by an engineer, including its support foundation, and submitted to the municipality. 4, services to the garden suite must derive from the principal dwelling on the property. 5, that the applicant is to obtain building permits for all secants currently being stored on the property. And 6, that the applicant provides a signed confirmation letter accepting the terms. There may be site audits conducted to ensure compliance, and non-compliance issues may be cause to revoking the conditional use at any time.
Open up for council discussion, debate, council, anything?
Oh, so it's a C-CAN is gonna turn into a living quarters? It's pretty cool.
Yes, the main concern administration had was because you're changing the integrity of the secant, that some kind of engineering stamp be attached to
Right.
the proposed building.
You see more and more of these now.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's our first in the municipality, so we want to ensure that it's properly done.
The first legal one.
And then the other C-CANs, they just has to get a building or go through the motions of getting up.
I believe development permit
Development
because you can't have them on for perpetuity, so.
I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That is carried. Thank you. I believe that's it, Mr. Seal, for public hearings.
I believe so.
Moving on to 8.1 bylaw 6 2024 zoning amendment, first reading. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bondarchuk.
Hey, so got a memo from WSP, who have been our consultants regarding this rezone, introducing a new zone. So on Tuesday, June 4th, WSP and the RM hosted an in-person open house event related to our proposed eco-industrial zone. The event was held in a come and go format and took place at the Pioneer Hall in St. Adolphe from 6 to 8. The event was open to all members of the public and was advertised on social media and newspaper ads that ran in the Carillon paper on May 30th. So the purpose of the open house was to present our proposed eco-industrial zone and provide an opportunity for the community to ask questions and give feedback. There were presentation boards available and staff from the WSP available to answer any questions. In total, there was about 5 individuals that attended the event. Only 2 chose to sign in. No copies of the survey were completed. One was received online. The respondent indicated that they were supportive of the initiative. One of the open house attendees also indicated a desire for water use to be considered as part of the management in the future eco-industrial park zone. So based on the feedback that the WSP had received, they have made no changes to the recommended draft bylaw, and council has a copy of that bylaw for first reading. So basically what the industrial zone is, the first part is just slipping it into various sections of our bylaw, our current zoning bylaw. But I wish to bring to your attention table number 8.3, which is basically the ME eco-industrial zone. You'll see in that table a whole bunch of permitted uses, which is good and bad. The good is that it doesn't have to come to council. The bad is that in order for it to not to come to council, they must meet a whole bunch of eco-sensitive targets. And those are listed in 8.4. And part of those targets are air pollution, dust and dirt matter, electrical disturbances, glare or heat, explosive materials, liquid contaminants, noise and vibration, odor, and radioactivity. So if the applicant comes in and is able to check off all these as a positive for the eco-sensitive zone, then it will be a permitted use. If they can't check it all off, then it becomes a conditional use, therefore would require a public hearing process through the conditional use process. This is first reading, and if council gives it first reading, we will proceed with the public hearing in July.
Wait a minute, so we're taking this through the projects that they need to make for. Sorry, Bob, it's just first reading. There will be a public hearing. It's not tonight.
I don't want to say about the public hearing. Only a few people showing up. What was sent out, there's only so many people who actually saw it. Actually, I wasn't sure what it even was. There's nothing online. It was an explanation, as you're explaining, what would happen in an eco zone. So I think if you're going to have it, that it should be some explanation so we can get more people out and we understand why they should.
Right.
It's the communication issue to me, not the actual thing. So if
I
we can
appreciate that.
communicate, and if you only use on email and stuff like that, you have to make sure that everybody hears it. And it's really important. They have to put it in the water bills or whatever, so people can get a written understanding what this is all about, and then they can decide whether to go. People are busy. They don't get anything sent to them that explains what it is. They just may pass it up, and it's the same thing that happened here. 5 people showing up.
Right.
That's just my suggestion.
I appreciate it. It's valuable. Okay, council, any comments or questions on the first reading?
Just the purpose is to promote eco zones.
Right.
Because it's just an incentive to be more.
There's opportunities with not only grants and funding, but it's just the way that the world's working. So it's
Yeah.
another
There's a change in government and stuff, so they're looking for these types.
All about
It's a matter of being ahead of the curve, so that way when developers do come forward, we're ready.
Okay.
Not to say that we have somebody or anything in the near future, but
But there's incentives
Prepared, yeah.
probably, like you said,
very
right?
well could be, yeah.
This kind of thing. Okay.
Anything else from council? Okay, I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That's carried. Thank you. And moving on to 9.1.1 subdivision file 4165-248326 Northwind Acres, Inc.
mover.
Oh, sorry, do I have a mover? Councilor Bonnerchuk, second. Councilor Belanger. That was a public hearing for a second. My apologies.
No, in this case, I think the best map for council to look at is the site map zoomed in, as labeled in your package. Basically, I think there's some consolidation of lands that was maybe wrongly done initially, east versus west of PR 200. So this will clean it up. Whatever's on the east side of PR 200 is basically the farmland, which will be on one title. And then whatever you see on the red portion on the west side of PR 200 is to be consolidated with the residential area.
Council, any comments or questions? No, makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. Thank you. And 9.2.1 PR 200 St. Adolph South Speed Zone. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bonner-Chuck, second. Councillor Blanchet.
After a meeting with the Department of Highways, or whatever they're called nowadays, my apologies to them, but if they stop changing names, I would not have this last moment in memory. It sounded positive that we were going to be able to do a speed zone reduction or change at the south end of Chiron Creek. If you can call up the map for the public as well to look at. Basically, what we'd like to do or entertain is to stretch the 50 zone to the new existing dike, because as of now, that is a 70 zone. So what you see in green the request is to turn that into the 50 zone. And then instead of coming in at 90 and hammering your brakes, that's not recommended apparently, to slow traffic down. And I'm recommending 350 meters further south, that 70 zone transition. So 70 to 50. And the 50 is because of the new daycare that we built and the increase in development in the Chiron Creek area. There seems to be more and more traffic at that Chiron Creek intersection.
Thank you. Council, any comments or
Makes
questions?
sense to me.
Well, I wanted to do this for a long time, so want to see if we can get it done. It just makes sense. I mean,
I think I saw a letter from 2019.
The previous resolution just goes to show that it was asked in 2019 and there's been
been
changes since that time. So
Perfect. So I'll call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 9.2.2 approval for Eco West to undertake municipal building efficiency feasibility study application to FCM Green Municipal Fund. Do I have? There's two here. There's two different things. Yeah, there. Sorry. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bonner-Chuck.
okay, basically this is a resolution to have hire Eco West to do a study on our building efficiencies of all our buildings in the municipality. Provide opportunity for further funding, whether it be for solar or anything that is efficient. Looking at grant applications up to 200,000, where it would be an 80-20 split, and the 20% being VRM. So 20 cents on the dollar is very, very good for us. So,
Perfect.
To save money further down the road.
Perfect. Anything else from the council?
nope, great idea.
Okay, call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 9.2.3 approval for Eco West to undertake municipal fleet electrification study application to FCM Green Municipal Fund. Do I have a mover? Councillor Bonner-Chuck, second. Councillor Belanger.
Again, an application to hire Eco West. This time it's regarding the municipal fleet. So that's all of our equipment. So when we say all of our equipment, we're looking at Zambonis, graders, tractors, trucks, mowers, etc. Anything that would be gas related to have it as electric. This study is also to be done in partnership with the RMF McDonald. And again, it's 80-20 split.
Thank you. Council, any debate, discussion?
Good idea again.
Great idea.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none, that's carried. 9.2.4 May 2024 building permit reports. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger, second. Councillor Bonner-Chuck.
Permits for May 28 for a value of 4.1 in construction value, 4.1 million, bringing in building fees of 14,000. Brings us a total to date for the year at 69 permits, 20.7 million in construction value, and 80 or 60,000 in permit fees. Pretty close to the same as far as fees as last year.
Council comments, questions?
No, still moving.
Call for the question. All those in favor? Opposed, none. That's carried. Thank you. And adjournment. Do I have a mover? Councillor Belanger with your hand, second Councillor Bondarchuk. Final comments? The question, all those in favor? That's carried. I'll close the meeting at 7:55 PM. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending online, in person, and on the phone. Have a great rest of your evening. Stop recording.